Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be talking about the floods which are taking place in Gujarat as of now. So this year we are able to see extreme weather conditions. First it was about the heat waves and the temperatures crossing to new heights, and now in this in the monsoon season we are able to see such heavy precipitation, such heavy rainfall. And few days back we heard the news of the Wayanad landslide. Now we are hearing the news of floods taking place, be it the northeastern states of India. Specifically if we talk about, then Tripura is going through extreme flooding, and the eastern and the western, both fronts are going through extreme flooding. And now in the state of Gujarat also we are hearing that floods are taking place. So let us see what is it all about. So first of all, about the points of discussion, first we will be looking at the news and what has happened in Gujarat, then what are floods, then what are the area which are liable to floods in India, then the solutions for the flood management in India, the structural solutions and the non-structural solutions, and then in the end prelims practice question. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 1, that is geography, that is floods, and also paper 3, that is disaster management. Before moving forward, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. So the news talks about 26 people killed, dams overflowing and more. What's behind the devastating Gujarat floods? So first of all, if we talk about the state of Gujarat, so look at this map. This is India's map. So if we will talk about, then this is north, south, west and east. So in the northeastern states the flooding is taking place, and in the western India also flooding is taking place. And if we talk about Gujarat, Gujarat is the westernmost state of India, and Gujarat shares its border with Rajasthan, then Madhya Pradesh and then Maharashtra, while the western border is shared with the Arabian Sea. And this is about Gujarat, and the capital of Gujarat is Gandhinagar. So what is happening as of now is that the rain fury conditions is not going from Gujarat, and continuous precipitation is taking place, and heavy rains has lashed the western state, triggering a flood like situation, and many people have lost their life, and the rescue operation is going on, and the people are being taken to the safe conditions. And the red alert has been issued in Gujarat by the IMD, and the IMD has also forecasted and has said that in the coming days more rains can be expected in the state of Gujarat. So look at this image. Okay, this is the aerial view of one of the regions. So you can very clearly see that everywhere, or every road or every locality is inundated with water. Now let us see that what are the reasons for floods in Gujarat. Specifically in Gujarat we are talking about. So that is, several rivers and reservoirs in the state are overflowing. So because the precipitation has taken place so much this time, that the rivers are overflowing. So if we talk about the rivers in Gujarat, so these are not Himalayan rivers, or these are not rivers of the Ganga river basin. So these are basically rivers which are not active or which are not rain fed throughout the year. But this time, because of the heavy precipitation that has taken place, the rivers are overflowing, and also the reservoirs are overflowing. Then inundation and waterlogging of several low-lying areas, and waterlogging and inundation also. And one of the very important topics as of now which is coming up in majority of the metropolitan cities also in India, and that is about the urban flooding. So urban flooding is also taking place, and basically the reason behind urban flooding that we have talked about is about the poor drainage system, waterlogging and inundation. Then comes the overflowing dams, because see, dams is about the storage of water and how the water should be controlled. But because of the heavy precipitation that has taken place, the dams are also at a risk and is overworked as of now, because the amount of water that they are seeing as of now is much above their capacity. So these are few of the reasons because of which the flood like situation has arisen in Gujarat. Now what has happened because of these floods? So the train movement, the railway movement in the state has been disrupted, and many trains have been cancelled because of the overflooding and waterlogging and the railway tracks getting submerged. Then electricity services throughout the state and specifically many areas have been disrupted, and then rescue operations have been going on, and people in thousands have been taken to the safe conditions and safe places. Then if we talk about, now let us talk about the topic of floods. So what are floods? What are the conditions which can cause floods, and how India is liable to floods? So if we talk about floods, then according to the National Institute of Disaster Management and the World Health Organization, flood can be considered as a natural disaster. So it can be considered a natural disaster according to the WHO and the National Institute of Disaster Management. So what are the causes of floods? So there are two types of causes of floods. First is the natural causes and second is the man-made causes. So let us first talk about the natural causes. So natural causes can be heavy rainfall and precipitation, which is one of the biggest reasons in India for flooding this year. Then melting of glaciers. So the glaciers which are present in the Himalayan regions, the glaciers which are present at a higher altitude, if they will start to melt at a faster pace or at a heavier pace, then this will cause problem, because a heavy amount of water, it runs down the slopes and comes and gets merged in the rivers, and it increases the water content in the rivers. Like for example, the glacial outburst floods, that the topic that we are hearing in news nowadays. So Sikkim was one of the examples, you can say, because it has happened in the recent past. Then cyclones and storms. So with cyclones and storms, a very heavy precipitation occurs, and also because of the precipitation it can lead to the flooding like situations. Cyclone Maichong, which happened in the year 2023, and because of this cyclone, flood like situation arose. Then river overflow, one of the most basic points of flooding. For example, last year the Yamuna river overflow took place because the water was being released from Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. So the Yamuna got overflowed and it crossed the danger mark. So flooding like situation took place. Now let us talk about the man-made causes. Man-made causes means they are not natural. It is because of the human intervention that these kind of situations or these kind of causes has arisen over the years. Few of the points are unplanned and rapid urbanization, and the reason for this is also, and the end result has resulted in the urban flooding like situation. Like for example, in monsoon season, or if in the case of heavy precipitation, if you will go to cities like Gurugram in Delhi NCR, then you will be able to see that water logging is one of the very basic problem, and one of the problem that the people of Gurugram goes through on daily basis during the monsoon season. Then concretization, deforestation, climate change, poor drainage system, and many more such problems. See, if deforestation will take place, because of the trees and the forest, it has the capacity to absorb water. So if deforestation will take place, then the capacity to absorb water of the soil will also become less. Then comes concretization. Climate change is one of the most talked about topic, because if the climate change will keep on taking place and the temperature will keep on increasing, then the glaciers will melt as a faster pace. Extreme weather events will be seen, like cyclone, like tsunami, or like very heavy precipitation. So the climate change will ultimately lead to the increase of sea level. So sea level rise will also be seen. Now let us talk about the area liable to floods in India. So if you look at this map, So the area which you are able to see in red are the areas which are very prone to floods. And very prone to floods, if we talk about, then it is in India, the few of the regions which are very prone to floods, that can be the Ganga and the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. So look at this map. So you will be able to see that the regions of Himachal Pradesh, regions of Uttarakhand, then Punjab, then you are able to see Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, a lot of flood-like situation arises. Specifically, if we talk about, then it is the North Bihar. Then comes the portion of the northeastern state, Arunachal Pradesh, you can say Sikkim, you can say regions of West Bengal. Then if we talk about the peninsular India, then the regions of Odisha, coastal regions of Odisha, coastal regions of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and also few of the regions of Gujarat. So these are the areas which are very, or you can say, which are highly prone to floods. Then comes the topic for solutions for flood management in India. Now what can be done to improve the situation of floods in India, or what can be done on the part of the government, or structural changes can be brought so that the management of flood or the handling of flood in India becomes easy and can be dealt with utmost care. So first of all, if we talk about, then these are the structural changes. Structural changes means that basically the structure which is present for the floods, or the primary structure which comes in contact with the floods, there need to be a change. So few of the points are, first of all is the interlinking of river program. So interlinking of river program, that is, you can say, for example, 𝐾𝐻 program. So what happens is, now what happens because of heavy precipitation, if one river gets over flooded and the water content rises in the flood, so if the interlinking of rivers will take place, then what will happen? If one river is overflowed, then the water of that one river can be shifted to the other river or the interlinked river. So with that, the one river which is overflowed, the water can be used to be shifted to the other river, and the water can be used in some other region which is not seeing heavy precipitation. So interlinking of rivers can be one of the solutions. Then comes the creation of more and more reservoirs so that the storage of water can take place, and during the time when the precipitation is not taking place, or during the time of summers when the temperatures are very high, this water can be used at that point of time. Then next point comes the managing coastal floods. So coastal floods needs to be managed, and whenever the cyclones or the earthquake comes, we tend to realize that how important mangroves are when it comes to dealing with the natural disasters. And one of the examples is the Misty initiative for mangrove plantation. So this can also be a very important point with regard to dealing with the condition of floods. Next comes the embankments, creation of more and more embankments. Now embankment is a raised structure that confine water flow within channels or along river banks. Now imagine this is a river. So what can be done? A raised structure on the sides of these river can be created, and that raised structure works like an embankment. So what will that raised structure do is that when the rivers are overflowing, so when the water tends to go to the other parts or to the right and left of the river, so these embankment will confine that water in the course of the river. Then comes other point, and that is the point of diversions. Diversions means that it can also work like same as the interlinking of river program, but diversion is on a smaller scale. Now what will diversion do is that the river which is over flooded, or the river which has more water, diversion from that river can take place, and that water can be shifted to any other river or any other reservoir or any other dam. So in this, the example can be the Indira Gandhi Canal project. It diverts water from Satluj and Beas river to the Thar desert in Rajasthan, and in Rajasthan that water is used for irrigation purposes. So these are few of the structural changes. Now let us talk about the non-structural changes which are important to deal with flood-like situation. Like for example, flood forecasting and early warning. Now what will flood forecasting and early warning do is that if people who are living in the coastal areas or the people who are living in the areas which are very prone to flooding, so if early warning will be issued or early warning will be given to these people, then they will be prepared to deal with the floods, or in advance these people can be taken to a safe place, or the rescue operation can start at an early stage so that workload can also be managed and the devastation can be lessened and the loss of life will not take place, and even the public property that will be destroyed or that will be harmed can also be less. Then comes flood awareness. Then people who are living in the regions which are very prone to floods, the floods awareness, it means the situation that how people need to deal with floods or what are the steps that they need to take during the time of floods, so people can be made flood ready. So these are few of the solutions. So this was about flood and an important point and an important topic from your exam respect, because the question in prelims and mains both can be asked, and in the mains examination floods questions had been asked in the past. So in the end of prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. So the Vishwamitri river is situated in which of the following states of India? Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Karnataka or Sikkim? So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.